Hey guys, welcome to the OBee Sports Talk show. I'm Obi. We got a lot of stuff to cover, and we're going to end with a little bit of a rant and rave about some stuff going on in sports that's kind of drives me nuts, and it involves the MLB news, and we'll get to that in a little bit here. But first off, we want to talk a little bit about we're going to start off with the Super Bowl matchup. Talk a little bit about that, but we won't get too much into that because that is next week. The Patriots will take on the Giants. Both teams had to fight their way different ways to get here, whether it was just dominating the regular season or winning their division by winning their last two games, and then everybody kind of maybe counting them out to the first round or two of the playoffs. And that's the Giants going up against the Patriots. The Giants had a tough road in the playoffs, as we know. They had to go play Atlanta first, which probably a lot of people had them winning that one because against Atlanta. Maybe some people didn't because they weren't really sold on the Giants because the Giants haven't really played well. Majority of the season, they kind of just limped their way in by winning the last two games and beating the Dallas team, which was just lost all year. Then they took on Green Bay Packers, and they went to Green Bay and knocked them around like they were nothing, all season. Whatever they did this season wasn't anything important because the Giants really dominated them. And so then everybody's thinking, okay, they're going to have to play the Saints or the 49ers. Well, the 49ers took out the Saints. So they go to San Francisco to play the 49ers, and they made the 49ers, they showed a little bit of their weaknesses and beat the 49ers. Eli Manning and that defense have really come together really well towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. And it's a rematch of a previous Super Bowl. We all know what happened. Eli Manning and his Giants beat the New England Patriots, and that was the Patriots' only loss this season was in the Super Bowl. So the Giants will face off against them. We'll talk a little bit more about that and stuff like that as it comes up. AFC-NFC game is what's on this weekend, as the AFC and the NFC will face off. Who knows where it's going to go. The NFC has probably got a little bit more better players than the AFC does, because some guys have had to bail out because they're a Super Bowl, and one of them was Tom Brady. So I'm going for the AFC, but I think the NFC will probably come out on top in that one. So that's enough about that. The Cavs fell to Miami Heat last night, 95-85. Hung with them until the fourth quarter. But it was Chris Bosh who had the big fourth quarter for him. Now LeBron James. Thank goodness it wasn't him because we know he would have talked trash about Cleveland, about beating us, and about how he had a good fourth quarter game against a poor basketball team. So good job by the Cavs for shutting him up maybe a little bit in the fourth quarter. It was Chris Bosh. I mean, I don't understand why would you foul him towards the end of the game like that. If you're gonna foul somebody that doesn't make the free throws. You don't foul Chris Bosh, who is obviously like lights out. Really, I mean, I give the Cavs credit for hanging with them, but really, it's gonna be another long year for the Cavs, I believe. Enough about that. College football news. Still is probably mourning the loss of Joe Paterno, especially in Happy Valley. They probably are doing the same thing. Joe Paterno was laid to rest today. Great coach. He was 85 years old, died of lung cancer on Sunday. Arguably probably the best coach in college football. It's hard to really argue that. Hopefully his legacy is not tarnished because of a mistake that he made by not following up on the scandal that happened at Penn State. Yeah, he should be at fault and stuff like that, but he's still a legendary coach, and he should be respected for the great things he did at Penn State. I mean, he did so many great things for them, for Penn State, and probably really turned that program around from where it was when he took it over. And it's going to be very hard for them to move on from that, from losing Joe Paterno the way they did. And so, hats off to Penn State and all them, and hopefully they can they will honor him in the right way and he still will be considered a legendary coach. He's got to be, very well respected, great coach, probably one of the best coaches of all time, and we may never see another good coach than Joe Paterno. I don't think we'll see anybody that obviously be at a school longer than he was. He was a better coach than Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler. He just was a good coach all around. He may not have as many national championships as those guys or as any other coaches, but Joe Paterno was a great coach, and hopefully he's honored for his great coaching ability and things that he did as a coach, and not as a mistake that he made, but not following up on a scandal at Penn State. That's enough about that one. The North-South game is this weekend, where some guys are trying to make their names for themselves, trying to establish themselves. A few guys in the Big Ten that are trying to show the scouts that they are NFL caliber players. Dan Herod, DeVar Posey, B.J. Cunningham, and one of those receivers from Michigan, not sure which one it is. So a lot of big name guys out there trying to make a name for themselves to the scouts, letting them know that they are worthy enough to play in the NFL. So hats off to them. College basketball news. Ohio State will take on Penn State. Penn State will come into Columbus to play out the number 3 Buckeyes, who moved up to number 3 after Syracuse. A few teams went down last week and over the weekend. And with that note, the Big Ten has a 3-way tie for first place with Ohio State, Michigan State, all with 2 losses in the Big Ten. And then right behind them, a game back, is Wisconsin Badgers and Illinois. So those 2 teams are really got themselves in position here at this stage of the Big Ten race. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Is both, all these 5 teams, a couple other ones that are still maybe 2 or 3 games back, are sitting thinking, okay, we just knock off a couple of teams, get a couple big wins here, we can drive ourselves back into position. So some interesting things coming up with that. So that should be kind of interesting to see how that takes place in the Big Ten. On to the baseball news, where this is going to stir up some controversy here a little bit, debate or whatever. And I want to hear some serious discussion going on about this, what you think and what your take is a little bit here. But first off, Giants re-signed Tim Lincecum to go a 3rd pitching staff, so they're trying to still keep their rotation intact. The A's signed Bartolo Colon. I'm not sure where that's going to go from there. He pitched for the Yankees last year and was average at best. Maybe even below average. I'm not exactly sure. Blue Jays signed Francisco Cordero. Maybe to help boost their bullpen. Maybe step into the closer role for them. Jorge Posada retires. Played like 15, 16 years in the league. And really, this is one of the things I want to debate about. Do you think Jorge Posada is a Hall of Famer? I kind of want to hear what your opinion is. I'm not sure if he has the right numbers to be a Hall of Famer, so I don't think he will be a Hall of Famer, but he definitely did have a good career. Unfortunately, it was all with the Yankees, which not many people like unless you're from New York. It's either Yankees or Mets in that case, but still, not many people like the Yankees. Roy Oswalt is one of the main free agents left, and the Rangers and Boston are in pursuit of Roy Oswalt. Prince Fielder has been snagged up. The big free agent left on the board will have a 9-year contract worth $214 million playing for the Detroit Tigers. You gotta be stinking kidding me. I tell you what, when I saw this, it just burned a passion inside me that I just was like, are you kidding me? How in the heck could they get him? I mean, obviously they thought they needed a big bat when Victor Martinez was lost for the season, and they went out and got one in Prince Fielder. I really had high hopes for the Indians this year. I was kind of thinking maybe he had enough pieces maybe to kind of push together another run. We know Detroit is going to have the pitching, but we're not sure about their offense, especially with the loss of Victor Martinez. and they go out and get Prince Fielder. And that's why we need a salary cap in baseball, where everybody has a certain amount of money to spend, and maybe they're all given the same amount of money. I don't know how you do that, but it's ridiculous. My Cleveland Indians, who I'm a diehard fan of, and that will never change, sits back and has not enough money to do this. And you get the teams like the Yankees, White Sox did that a few years ago, Angels, Yankees, Boston. Where are they getting the money? That's what I want to know. And Miami Marlins too. Where are they getting all this money they can sign all these players? It's ridiculous. It's not right. It's not fair. It drives me nuts. I just wish there was a billionaire. Well, I'm sure there probably is a billionaire sitting in Ohio that has nothing to do. Who sit back thinking, should I buy a franchise? Yeah, buy the Browns or buy the Indians, so we can start competing with these high market teams and spend some money. We want championships so bad. We're almost to the point where we're desperate for somebody to come in here and spend money on us. And you get a guy like Dan Gilbert who comes in, buys the Cavs. Who cares about the Cavs? We don't care about basketball in Ohio, unless it's Ohio State Buckeyes. We care about baseball and football, okay? And we got a millionaire, supposedly. Forbes, before he lists, Al Werner's on there. But he's so worried about his stinking soccer team in England, he doesn't even care about his football team that he owns. Hello? Sell that stinking soccer team to the highest bidder. Start investing some money in your Cleveland Browns. Dan Gilbert, sell that stinking hockey team. Sell the basketball team. Sell the Cleveland Arena Football League. If you want to keep one, keep the basketball team. But still, invest some of your money and stuff like that into the Browns and the Indians. For crying out loud. We don't care about stinking hockey and soccer and arena football. We're talking Browns, Indians, or... come on, seriously, guys. What are you thinking? Let's get out there. And as far as Bud Selig is concerned, you need to fight tooth and nail to get a stinking salary cap where everybody has the same amount of money to spend and they can't go over that salary cap. And if they do, they are punished. Maybe you say, hey, you can't make the playoffs for a year because you know your salary cap. If they want to sign all these big name guys and they can't keep under a certain salary cap, then they're ineligible to make the playoffs. I don't care if they win every single game; they are ineligible to do that. Something's got to be done in all sports. Put a salary cap on there, and if teams refuse to break that, then you make them ineligible for the postseason. Yeah, and you want to debate this all you want with me, that's fine. I'll listen to your opinions and takes on it. But it's just getting ridiculous. I had a little high hopes for the Indians, and they dashed a little bit. Maybe things will surprise me. Maybe the Tigers will get hit with the injury bug this year, and the Indians will stay healthy. I don't know. And before this gets way out of control, I'm just going to stop with this one right now. But I love to hear your opinions and everything. Thank you for listening to the OBee Sports Talk Show. OBee out.